with 99.1 FM.
Suspiciously awarded Kanji Block Police Promotion Challenge thrown out. Botswana receives 10% royalty on diamond, while Guyana settles for 1.5%. Meanwhile, knife in stomach patient dies. Ex-boyfriend found dead. Gau to now represent workers in oil and hospitality sectors. Meanwhile, peacemakers stabbed multiple times with broken beer bottle, and pillion rider killed after motorcycle crashes into pile of stones. And Iranian warships reportedly bound for Venezuela change course after U.S. intervention. Stay tuned.
Citizens are being reminded to continue observing the COVID-19 guidelines by practicing social distancing, good hand hygiene, wearing a mask when out in public, and reporting promptly any illness to your nearest health facility. If you or your family member experiences any fever, coughing, vomiting, diarrhea, skin rash, cuts, sticks, bruises, or other conditions, seek medical attention immediately. The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation and other outpatient departments in the respective areas are fully operational and equipped to provide adequate care. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health on 223-9705 or 223-9713.
And now for the news in detail. Echo Atlantic Oil and Gas Limited, an oil and gas exploration company with licenses in the proven province of Guyana, was pleased to announce yesterday that it acquired a 10% interest in JHI Associates. Now, JHI is a privately owned company that is headquartered in Toronto, Canada. Despite having zero background in deep water drilling, it holds 17.5% working interest in the Kanji Block, which was suspiciously awarded under the Donald Ramotar administration. It should be noted that JHI is a Guyana pure-play deep-water exploration company that was only founded in 2011. In 2014, JHI had teamed up with Guyana-based Mid-Atlantic Oil and Gas Inc., which was awarded the Kanji Block in 2015. Both companies are industry unknowns. In other news, the case filed by Senior Superintendent of Police Calvin Brutus to challenge the Police Service Commission's 2020 promotion list on the basis of what he termed as unfair criteria for elevating officers has been thrown out by Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire. Brutus had moved to the High Court in a bid to block promotions for senior members of the Guyana Police Force until the decision not to promote him was recanted. Brutus's case was among a series of lawsuits filed in the High Court by police officers to block the promotions of other ranks, including Senior Superintendents of Police Edmund Cooper, Philip Azor, and Curly Simon. In her ruling yesterday, Justice George Wiltshire essentially said that there is nothing unlawful about considering disciplinary matters when making a decision whether to promote a police rank or not. And interesting news, while Guyana has settled for a mere 1.5% in royalties in its diamonds from Chinese mining company Zijin Mining Group, Botswana, an African nation, has made sure it collects 10% royalty from any mining company working in its mines. The huge difference between the two countries' royalty rates was brought to Kaieteur's attention following reports on Friday, June 18th, that the world's third largest diamond was unearthed in Botswana. According to Fox Business Africa, the diamond, which measures 1,098 carats, was mined in Debswana Diamond Company, a joint venture between Botswana government and De Beers Group, an international diamond company founded in 1888. Fox Business Africa also pointed out in its article that the Botswana government receives as much as 80% of the income from Debswana sales. through dividends, royalties, and taxes. And moving on, after being attacked by her boyfriend on Sunday, 26-year-old Omela Singh succumbed to her injuries yesterday at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. This, according to police, occurred before her 48-year-old ex-boyfriend Omkar Singh was discovered dead at the conservancy behind Canal No. 1 Polder on the west bank of Demerara. Omkar, after physically abusing and stabbing the woman, reportedly fled from the scene and ran into the conservancy after abandoning his motor car, which was later found by police. The woman had allegedly left the relationship a month ago due to the man's abusive ways. After leaving, the woman had moved in with her mother in perfect harmony. The woman, a mother of 3, reportedly received assistance in form of food and other necessities from Omkar, who is the father of her 2 children of his own. Police are investigating the matter. And now let's tell you, at its General Council meeting on June 25th, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, or GAWU, decided to establish 2 new branches to advance the rights and conditions on behalf of workers employed in the oil and hospitality sectors. The General Council, in approving the decision, considered a report from the union's General Secretary, which indicated that in recent times, a growing number of workers from the 2 sectors have been approaching the union seeking advice and guidance regarding difficulties and challenges they are facing at their instances. The report indicated, in many instances, workers were not aware of their roles and responsibilities. The union noted in a release that it has concluded that very few workers were aware of their rights, and this is a primary objective of the 2 new union branches. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will return after the break.
The COVID-19 vaccine gives us hope for a healthier tomorrow. Have you received your shot yet? The Regional Health Services in Region 2 invite you to get vaxxed and get a chance to receive a COVAX hamper. A what? A COVAX hamper. When vaccinated, you will receive a coupon, and drawings will be done weekly at the Suddy Health Center and broadcast live on the Regional Health Services Facebook page on Sundays. Get vaccinated and get a chance to be one of 4 lucky winners of a COVAX hamper. Pomeroon Supernam, fighting COVID-19 for a safer region and safer Guyana.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. 26-year-old Sudat Hanuman is now nursing stab wounds about his body at the New Amsterdam Hospital after he attempted to render assistance to a woman who was reportedly being assaulted by her partner. Police disclosed that the suspect has since been arrested. You understand that the incident occurred on June 27th at approximately 20 hours. Hanuman, it was revealed, was riding his bicycle heading home when he came across a man assaulting a woman on the Belvedere Access Road, Quarantine. He decided to intervene to save the woman from further abuse, and in so doing, a scuffle ensued between him and the suspect. The suspect then armed himself with a beer bottle, smashed it, and stabbed Hanuman about his body 4 times. The suspect was arrested shortly after the incident, and charges are to be laid soon. And now let's tell you, a pillion rider identified as 20-year-old Kareem Powley was killed Sunday night at approximately 22 hours 30 after the motorcycle he was on crashed into a pile of stones on Mandela Avenue, Georgetown. We understand that the motorcycle was proceeding north on the western carriageway of Mandela Avenue at a fast rate of speed when the accident occurred. The motorcyclist, according to police, alleged that a black motor car, which was proceeding in the same direction, swerved left and caused him to lose control. This resulted in the motorcycle running off the road and into a pile of stones, which was on the western parapet of the thoroughfare. Police revealed that a notice of intended prosecution was served to the motorcyclist, who is currently in custody. And now let's tell you, on June 10, 2021, Iranian state TV reported that 2 Iranian warships, the Sahand, an Iranian destroyer, and the Makran, a support vessel, set sail from the southern port of Bandar Abbas of the Islamic Republic. Subsequently, various American media reports were citing the mostly speculative claims of anonymous government officials that the vessels were likely bound for Venezuela. However, Iran has not to date confirmed the vessel's final destination. Despite this theory, however, both countries remain tight-lipped as to its legitimacy, with a top aide to President Nicolas Maduro denying press reports that the ships will dock in Venezuela. The ships had changed courses after an effort to resolve the issue diplomatically was taken by the U.S. The campaign by the U.S. also coincided with a joint military program hosted by Guyana called Tradewinds 2021. In other news, Director General of the CDC, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, along with members of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency on Saturday, visited a number of communities in the lower and middle Mazaruni in Region 7, where significant decline of the floodwaters was observed. Region 7 is one of the 5 regions which were hardest hit by the flooding in Guyana that has been ongoing for over 1 month now. In some cases, homes and businesses directly located along the river banks in Region 7 were covered by as much as 12 to 15 feet of water. Several families have been forced to relocate inland on boats and pontoons. The situation has severely affected mining activities, which is the region's main economic activity. The CDC has since deployed a number of hampers to the region, which included food, cleaning, and health packages. And on that note, we now head over to our COVID-19 update. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health announced that 4 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. Guyana's COVID-19 death toll has now moved to 466. Out of those deaths, 68 occurred this month, which has 2 more days left. According to the ministry, the latest fatalities are that of a 65-year-old woman, a 64-year-old woman, and a 73-year-old man, all from Region 4, and a 49-year-old man from Region 3. 14 new cases were recorded, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 19,891. 15 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 87 are in institutional isolation, 1,539 are in home isolation, and 3 are institutionally quarantined. Additionally, 103 recoveries were recorded yesterday, bringing the total number of recoveries to 17,784. And with that being said, we now head over to the blunt page of the Kaieteur News, page 7. In America, even the congressmen are talking about Guyana and its oil. It is the usual sweet talk of going from the poorest to the richest. We don't believe a word of what any of them are saying. Not one of them. Guyanese who think that these American politicians have the interests of Guyanese at heart are only fooling themselves. If they care so much, then they should be standing in our corner with a position of, this contract is robbery. This deal is embarrassing to all Americans. This deal stinks. If they really want to do something for us, then let them come out publicly and call for Exxon to renegotiate. And then we will believe them. With that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. Kevin Smith here. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
It is now 12 hours 25 in Guyana. Coming up next, a short presentation of the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lau, followed by the National Outlook with G.H. Gilal.
Guyana leaders got y'all sucking seed instead of succeeding. Guyanese, I really gotta make this thing